Hey buddy, it's Crazy4. Welcome back, of course, to some more Pokémon HeartGold and SoulSilver. In the last one, we got access to Rock Climb, the last HM that we will get access to in this game, which allowed us to finally scale those rocky walls we've been seeing and that have been taunting us all throughout the game. And we just kind of spend the episodes backtracking, going back to and going to check out some of the items that you could get from scaling those rocky walls, but also went back to Celadon for the sound designer and got the Game Boy sounds key item, which is just a really cool thing. I love the fact that they added something like that into the game. But in this episode, we're back here once again in the Safari Zone. So you may be wondering, well, Daniel, what are we doing in the Safari Zone? Well, Balba has been constantly calling since one of our last visits, talking about how he's got some new stuff for us, how like things have changed, things have been upgraded. Before we kind of go into it, I kind of want to read a little bit of trivia about the Safari Zone in this game because it seems kind of interesting. So first off, Johto does not have a Safari Zone in Gen 2. However, an unused and incomplete map of the Kanto Safari Zone still exists in the code of the Gen 2 games. In its tall grass, there are no Pokemon, but some are available by fishing. The number of Pokemon species that can be acquired in the Safari Zone is by far the largest quantity in the main series to date, and includes several species that were never before available in the wild. Most notably, and we're kind of going to get into this in today's episode, most notably Shelgon, Metang, Breloom, Vigoroth, and Riolu. This is the only Safari Zone which a player can customize. This is the first Safari Zone in which there is no step limit. The Hoenn Safari Zone in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire also does not have a step limit. The two construction workers outside of the Safari Zone in the Safari Zone gate implied they are the ones who move the Safari Zone areas. They mentioned that most people would think a complicated system would be in place, as well as complaining about aches and pains. Should the player use a wall hack to walk through the Safari Zone gate without going through reception first, the Safari Zone will be 6 plain squares, and the only Pokemon that will show up is a level 20 Rattata. However, the battle will go as it would anywhere else, instead of bringing up the Safari Zone's cache interface. And finally, a graphical glitch occurs in a swamp area. 4 tiles at the top of the grassy patch appear to be empty at first, but when the player or their partner Pokemon walks over the tiles, tall grass will appear underfoot. So yeah, just some nice little trivia about Safari Zone in this game. Just kind of wanted to note it. Anyways, here's Balba. Hi, I've been waiting for you. I had an epiphany, a new attraction. I decided to call it Object Arrangement. This is going to be fun. You can place objects on the field as you play at the Safari Zone. Not only that, but the types of Pokemon you will see will change depending on the types of objects you place. Isn't it amazing? I will call you using the Pokegear if something else comes up. I will explain object arrangement. Would you like to know anything? I guess there's a lot of freaking stuff. I guess the objects in general. There are many objects you can place anywhere as you walk around the Safari Zone, except on stairs and grass where Pokemon appear. You also want to remember that you can place up to 30 objects in the area. Okay, there's ranging objects. It's easy to place objects. All you have to do is make sure that the spot in front of you is clear. If it's empty, you can select an object. Some objects are large and may need a large space. Okay, objects types, I guess. There are many different objects. Ones that look like grass, like trees, like boulders, like water, and other types of objects. Try placing different objects. The number of objects placed in an area is shown in the area customizer on the top screen. There will be more objects to come, as I'll keep adding more. Okay. So, appearing Pokemon. The types of Pokemon you will see will change depending on the types of objects you place. The Safari Zone has also changed to that point. Try placing different types of objects. Okay, that didn't really help me. So yes, object placement is something that we can kind of I guess, add to the Safari Zone now. Can I actually do it here? What do you want to do with this area? I guess we'll do desert. Sort? Well, that's sort. You can just move it anywhere. Maybe not. Okay, hold up. Area customizer. Okay, maybe we don't. Wait. Sure. We want to know area. Show off areas. Opponent, big one. Okay. No, I don't think an area customizer is it. I think we have to like go into Safari Zone and like just do it inside, from what I'm noticing. So I know Bulbapedia, what I usually use for this kind of Pokemon stuff. They will kind of talk about it a little bit. So yes, after we have achieved the National Dex and 3 hours of gameplay have passed after completing Balba's second challenge, the Balba will then of course call the player to tell him that he has come up with a new idea, which of course is the block placement. So each active area can contain up to 30 blocks at one time. Initially, the player will only have access to 6 block items. After another 3 hours of gameplay, Balba will call the player again and add 6 new blocks, and the cycle will repeat 2 more times until the player has been granted access to all 24 different block types. So yeah, that's kind of like how it works. So yeah, we're here. You can literally just go up to a random spot and press A, and we place the object, which we have a few. So we have 4 objects, or 4 pages. I think we actually have all, yeah, we have all the objects because it's been a little bit, so we kind of like have all them gathered. So we got shrubbery, red flower, tree, white flower, stump, branches, small rock, big rock, puddle, mossy rock, fountain. You can place it using surf. Oh, so that's gonna be an in-water kind of thing. Water hole, bench, short fence 1, short fence 2, long fence 1, long fence 2, signboard, your statue, your flag, outside lamp, guide post R, guide post L, and trash can. So the idea, of course, is that like these blocks essentially would have Pokemon start to appear essentially. How this works is interesting. I am not exactly sure about it. I think it's like you place an object or like a certain amount of objects, and Pokemon will then start to appear based off of that essentially. Give me a second. I'm gonna like kind of just look around a little bit in my notes and just like in general on the internet and just see like what I can encounter and what I have to do specifically to have Pokemon appear and whatnot. Okay, so I've been kind of reading a little bit about the Safari Zone, the advanced Safari Zone as some would call it, and like how things really change the block stuff. So I'm currently on Bulbapedia, and this is exactly what they say kind of happens with the block stuff. So the area upgrade mechanic within the Safari Zone is key to be able to encounter the more rare Pokemon types. For example, to encounter Bagon within the swamp area, the player must have unlocked the block compatibility and received enough notifications from Balba that both peak and forest block items are available for placement. The swamp area must then be made an active area within the Safari Zone for 110 days. This quadruples the block score for each forest block and triples it for each peak block placed within it. The player can then place 19 peak blocks, so do 19 times 3, which then equals 57, and 9 forest blocks, 9 times 4 for 36, which achieves the required scores of 56 and 35 respectively to enable Bagon. All encounter slots in the Safari Zone are 10% each. The block-based encounters will replace topmost available spot, with higher ID being prioritized. So yeah, it's kind of complicated. This game has a very complicated way of doing things with the Safari Zone, as you can probably tell. I don't know if I can really do it, but let's try it. Let's go to the plains area. Is there a plains area like around here? Okay, this is like the mud stuff, I'm pretty sure. So I can't go that way. If there's a plains area, that'd be sick. If there isn't, then we'll just find something else. Okay, this is like the mountain. This is like where Larvitar is and stuff. It'd be cool if we encounter another Larvitar. No, okay, I was about to say. We don't have a Doduo. We don't have a Doduo. I'm gonna catch a Doduo. Cause why the heck not? Honestly, okay. So you're gonna be an issue, right? He's watching carefully. If any luck, we can catch a Doduo and just kind of have one. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful job. There we go. We caught one. Crazy how we didn't have one yet. That's so strange. What the hell do I name him though? Footprints of 4 inches deep, a twin bird. For some reason, I don't know why, but the name Tutu comes into mind. I think it's freaking fantastic for a Doduo, so we're gonna go with Tutu. I think it's perfect. I like that name, Tutu. Yeah. Anyways, let's see. Can we find like a plains area? It doesn't look like we have one. Excuse me. What? Oh, we can't go into this. Okay, yeah, we have to walk. That's why. And it's a savanna. Okay. Or wasteland. Let's go into wasteland then. What are we looking at for wasteland? Since we're in wasteland, okay. So there are certain Pokemon that we can find in each area depending on like the blocks we place and, well, obviously the area himself. In the savanna, which I am currently in, I'm not gonna read off all the Pokemon. If you do want to like read off all the Pokemon that are present here in the Safari Zone that you can actually encounter, in the description I'm going to post a link to the Bulbapedia Safari Zone page and also the Cerebi Safari Zone encounter page, so like you can view both of them and like see kind of like on your own time, because there's just way too much to go over, way too much. But here, right, what we can essentially do is we can place blocks and have Pokemon encountered. There are certain Pokemon it seems like they can automatically be encountered, some that can only be encountered after a certain amount of time, like 20 days or 30 days. So we can encounter like Skorupi, for example, but we need 28 peak blocks, which, let's see what peak blocks I have. They're like separated into like peak, plains, water, and like mountain, maybe? I'm not sure what the last category would be, but so peak blocks would be stuff like, I think like small, right? Because like the small rock, or like the mossy rock, so like rocky stuff. Yeah. Forest, okay, so forest would be the last one, and then it's just kind of like the last kind of stuff. So really, like the last two pages don't really matter. They're just kind of like for extra, like decoration. These first two pages are what really do matter. So you want to go, I guess, yeah, we'll do like a small rock. We can try and do like, maybe we try to find Machoke just for the heck of it, because you can find Machoke in just like one day. So we'll do 5 peak blocks. We'll place a small rock, and it's there. Awesome. Let's place another object. Let's place another small rock. Okay, and that's gonna be our second piece. Let's place another small rock, because we can. Alright, right over here, we're gonna place another small rock. I keep saying block, I'm sorry. And we'll place one more right here, because we can. So that's basically puts, as far as I'm concerned, that puts 5 peak objects in the wasteland area, right? Which then would mean essentially that Pokemon would start to appear. Special Pokemon, in this case, it would be Machoke. I'm gonna see if Machoke is going to be encountered. I'm gonna do a few encounters. If I can't encounter him, then maybe I did something wrong, or I just have really bad luck. Let's try and find out. And there he is. Okay, so yeah, it worked. Okay, yeah, so Machoke is not a Pokemon that can naturally be found here in the Safari Zone. Wait, he is. He is. Huh. Maybe we'll try Manectric instead. Okay, so Manectric is another Pokemon that can be found here, and for him we need 3 plains items. So maybe we can get rid of this stuff real quick, so we can just get rid of this and like not have other stuff show up, not have like other Pokemon. There's a chance that Machoke was in fact an item or like a special encounter because of the items that I placed, the blocks that I placed. There's also a chance that he wasn't. So in case he wasn't, I'm going to put down some plains items, which would be, yeah, right here. Shrubbery, for example, is a good one. We'll put down another thing of shrubbery right here. And we'll build down another thing of shrubbery right here next to it. So this is 3 plains objects in the wasteland. Let's see if we can find a Manectric. Oh, there he is. Okay, so yeah, it worked. We encountered Manectric in the Safari Zone because of the whole block mechanic. So that's very interesting to know. Manectric, I'm just gonna try and catch him in case I can. I probably won't be able to, but okay, I was about to freaking say. Yeah, so that's kind of how things work. Manectric was, of course, a Pokemon that could be caught like day 1. Just you place the objects, and then boom, you have a chance. I just caught Manectric. All right, I was not expecting that, but we just did it. Yeah, so he's a Pokemon that you can find just like off the bat, as long as you have the amount of objects and the right objects, right? But there are some Pokemon, like for example, in this area, you can also find Pokemon like Medicham, Breloom, and Solrock. Those in particular, Medicham needing 18 forest objects, and Breloom needing 21 forest objects, and Solrock needing 21 peak objects. However, you can only encounter them if your items have been active for at least 20 days for both Medicham and Breloom, and at least 30 days for Solrock. So you can kind of see, and you got that multiplier that I talked about earlier. It's really weird and confusing, but if you understand it, then yeah. I think there is a way. I've been seeing people talk about how like you don't have to exactly wait that amount of time to encounter all these Pokemon. You can like change the internal clock on your DS or 3DS, change the clock, go back into the game, log in your day, save and exit out again, change the day again on your DS, and then to kind of like do it over and over again until you reach that minimum amount of days you're supposed to like have this stuff open for. And theoretically, this is just what I hear people saying, it should work. It should make the process way less annoying and way less time consuming. So if it does work, then cool, let me know. I mean, if you guys are watching, let me know down in the comments if you tried it before and if it actually like does work. It's kind of interesting. I mean, like, it's cool. You don't really see Safari Zones like this have a mechanic as crazy as this. But yeah, it's kind of here. Also, did we ever talk to these guys? Maybe under the impression of a sophisticated system. Oh yeah, it's a customized. Okay, real truth is that. Oh, I'm so exhausted. This job uses so much of your energy. So I guess these guys are the ones that usually are just like there to try and switch all of the places in the Safari. That's dedication. That's hard work. Oh my gosh. Like, you're basically just moving land with your own 2 hands. Like, how the hell? I don't know how they do it. But anyways, I don't know how long this episode is because they did a lot of cutting. But I'm going to be ending off things for today. I think this was just like a really quick and, just like a really quick episode where I just want to show off the changes in the Safari Zone and what we can now do in the Safari Zone after achieving the national dex and like playing the game for more time afterwards. So I mean, like, hey, if you want to experiment more with the block system, go right ahead. I mean, maybe you can go crazy and try and find a Beldum or something, because I know, what was it, Beldum, like when Beldum was like a high amount, right, of days or something. Let me just see if I can find it, because I'm kind of curious actually. Where the hell would Beldum be actually? Well, there's Dratini you can find with the surfing areas. Okay, that's kind of cool. Bagon. Ooh, sorry, not Beldum. I apologize. Bagon, the Pokemon that evolves the Salamence. So in the swamp area, if you put down 9 forest blocks and 19 peak blocks, you then have to wait 110 days in order to have the stuff multiply and for Bagon to then become available. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess in some ways you could say it's worth it because it's a really good Pokemon, but like still, that's mental. Also, I just realized I can get Zangoose now if I really wanted to, I'm pretty sure. Let me just check out Zangoose real quick, because Zangoose is like available in this area. Gible is also kind of crazy too. Yes, in the Gible, in the Rocky Beach area, you can put down plains blocks and peak blocks, and after 100 days, that's when you can encounter Gible, but another really good pseudo-legendary. But yeah, so Zangoose actually, this is not the only area you can find Zangoose, but in the peak area, if you place down 12 plains blocks, you don't have to wait any amount of days. You can automatically go and catch Zangoose. Honestly, I might want to do that off screen. I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of... Maybe I'll do it at the start of the next episode. I will find out. I actually kind of just want to catch Zangoose for the heck of it. So I think that's what we're going to do. Anyways, I'll be ending off for today. Thank you all so much for watching. In the next one... Honestly, I think the next episode is going to be where we start going crazy. I think next episode is where we're going to be going for legendaries. Yes, we're going for legendaries starting next episode. It's gonna be something, that's for sure. I don't know if I'm exactly excited about it, but it's gonna happen. So I mean, like, stay tuned, I guess, and we'll see what goes on. Yeah, we'll find out. Anyways, subscribe, like, comments, all that good stuff. Social media, including the Twitch, the second channel, the music channel, the VOD channel, like, all of that stuff. Go check it out. It's down in the description. And I guess I will see you guys next time. Pop-Tart, out.